Hey, hello there my friends, my name is Anthony and welcome to the third episode of Let's Play RuneScape. If you think I made a lot of progress in the previous episodes, then you really should watch this one. Once again, I'm going to complete more quests because the goal is still to obtain the quest cape. In between I will also train my skills to balance out my account. Alright, that's enough information for now, let's start with the episode. So, to start off the episode I decided to complete some quests right away. And first I did the feud quest, and the backstory of this quest is actually quite funny to be honest. This merchant makes up a whole quest just to sell you a fake beard. The reward of this quest is very useful because it unlocks a new way of training thieving, blackjacking. Not many people like this way of training, but it's amazing XP per hour and definitely worth doing. Personally, I don't like training the runecrafting skill, so I will try to boost the early levels as much as possible by completing quests. So that's what I did here as well. I did the What Lies Below quest and got 8,000 free runecrafting XP. I remember that in RuneScape 3 this quest is needed to get access to Bork, you know, that boss that you can kill for daily summoning experience. Here I did the Tears of Guthix quest. This quest is super useful for low level skills because once per week you can collect tears in a minigame which will reward you in your lowest skill. Now my lowest skill is Hunter, and because the early levels of Hunter are a big pain, this is a very good way to get some free levels. The quest Shadow of the Storm is a quest I need for Recipe for Disaster. I always hate killing this boss because it keeps teleporting me away and the last hit must be dealt with the Darklight sword, just like the Silverlight in the Demon Slayer quest. After finishing the quest I got 10,000 hit points experience, which came in very handy because my hit points is quite low. Well, back to unusual farming run. As you can see I got level 47 and it's really not taking me any effort. Then I bought myself some steel bars to AFK cannonballs to get level 50 smithing. I personally think that cannonballs are one of the best things to do in the game to AFK because you literally don't have to pay attention to the screen for 3 minutes. So like I said, I made some cannonballs and got level 50 smithing. After this I was able to do another farming trip and this time I also reached level 50 farming. So now that I was training my non-combat skills anyway, I decided to get some woodcutting and mining experience as well. First I got level 40 woodcutting, which I needed for the Fremenic Trials quest, and then I got level 50 mining for the Heroes quest. I really don't like mining, but eventually I will need to train it anyway, especially in the Motherlode mine because I need to get the full Prospector outfit for the Falador achievement diaries. When I got level 50 mining I had enough nuggets to buy the Prospector head, so that's not too bad. I bought some supplies to make wine and seriously I think this is the fastest XP in the game. You can get up to 500k cooking experience per hour if you do this correctly. Of course you do have to spend money on it, but I love it. I got my cooking up to level 53 to prepare for the Heroes quest. I thought it was time to do another quest wave. I first completed the quest Tribal Totem, which is very easy and quick to complete, and then I did the Nature Spirit quest. This quest is needed for Fairy Tail Part 1 and 2, and I really want to complete those because they give you access to fairy rings. So obviously I first completed Part 1 and then it was time for Part 2. Luckily I already trained my Herblore in the previous episode, so I was able to complete the quest without any problems. I actually didn't have the exact Herblore level I needed, but I used a Botanical Pie which increases your Herblore by 4 levels, and that way I was able to complete it. Next quest, Troll Stronghold. I need this quest to be able to make law runes. I'm not sure if I will ever do that, but who knows. Next up we have Edgar's Ruse, which is a very nice quest to complete because it unlocks the Trollheim teleport spell at level 61 magic. In this quest you also have to collect a Goutweed, but this item is also needed in the Dreammancer quest, so I decided to get 2 of them. Now that I've done 2 troll quests anyway, I might as well do a third one. So, Troll Romance. I made a very stupid mistake in this quest, but I forgot to record it. I thought I would be safe by using Protect from Melee on the boss of this quest, but I forgot he also has ranged attacks. So I forgot to pay attention to the screen, and when I looked back, I died. It is no problem though, because I managed to get all my stuff back. So I completed the quest, and as far as I know, there's only one troll quest left, My Armed Big Adventure, but for now that is not on the list. I got 40 woodcutting before, which is needed for the Fremenic Trials quest. This quest will always remain a classic. I remember back in the days how cool it was to have a warrior helm. So after collecting all the votes of the council members, I finally completed it. After that I did the Tourist Trap and used my experience on thieving. My agility and fletching are both 99 already, and I used cannonballs to train my smithing, so I figured that thieving was the way to go. Many people think this is one of the most annoying quests in the game, and I can't agree more. One small favor. This is because the quest is everything but a small favor. You basically need to travel across the whole RuneScape map to complete it. Anyway, eventually I did complete it and you get 20k experience of choice as long as you're higher than level 30. I used both lamps on runecrafting and got level 43. I really enjoyed making these cannonballs AFK before, so I decided to buy the supplies for level 65 smithing already. I know that I'm gonna need it for the Devious Mind quest later on, so I invested 7 million gold in the steel bars and started smithing. In between I did another farming trip and got level 52. The goal is now to work towards level 57 so I can plant papaya fruit trees. That's gonna give me insane amounts of XP. Then I started trading smithing for a full day, and since there's not much content to show about that, I can only show you some level ups and some farming trips. So first I got my smithing level to 55. Then I did some farming trips to reach level 54 farming. And then I got my smithing level to level 60 and I moved on to something else. It is time for another questing spree, I suppose. I completed another slice of ham. Zanik was in trouble again and I had to save him. It's a pretty funny quest with cool cutscenes. After this I did Between a Rock. This quest rewards you with a rune pickaxe and some defense, mining and smithing XP. It is also good to have this quest completed for the Wilderness Achievement Diaries because you need a golden helmet for it. I also did an easy quest, Big Chompy Bird Hunting. Like I said before, eventually I will have to complete every quest in the game to get that cape, including the easy ones. Haunted Mine, on the contrary, is really annoying and the final boss is pretty tough. The quest didn't take me too long, but during the boss fight I had to use almost all my food and I barely made it, but I suppose that counts too. I got a nice amount of strength experience for this quest and reached level 50 and also a combat level of 62. In Search of the Mirai Key is a quest that will eventually lead to one of the most terrible quests in the game, Darkness of Hollifield. First I had to complete the pre-quest though, in aid of the Mire Key. That's also a very annoying quest, but it unlocks a new bank in Mauritania and that is pretty useful. So after doing all this stuff I was finally able to start the Darkness of Hollifield quest. It took me quite a while to complete it and lucky for you I'm not going through all of that in this video. I used the XP lamps on runecrafting as always and got level 44, which is great because that's the level I need to make nature runes. Making history is another one of these useless quests in my opinion, but it has to be done. So I completed the quest, which got me to a total of 155 quest points. Then I did the quest Mountain Daughter. Honestly, this is a pretty sad quest, a little girl that got murdered by a man for revenge. Another quest I did was the Observatory. It took me a few minutes to do and it wasn't too difficult to be honest. After all these quests it was time to do another farming trip and I got level 55, so almost level 57 for papaya trees. Normally I would finish level 65 smithing with cannonballs, but I wanted to get it faster so I used the remaining steel bars to make steel plate bodies to speed up the process. After that I sold all my cannonballs and the remaining steel items and I got 12 mil for it. Not bad, I made about 3 million profit on that. I was about to hit level 57 farming, so I decided to buy some supplies in the GE, so I bought maple saplings instead of willow and papaya instead of orange. So I did the trip and reached the level I needed, 57. Papaya trees give over 6000 XP while orange trees only give 2.4k, so that's a huge difference. There's one last thing that I want to do to finish off this episode and that is the Heroes quest. Now before I was able to do the Heroes quest I had to complete Shield of Araf. Now lucky enough I found someone to help me with the quest because you need a partner in order to finish it. So when I started the Heroes quest I first got my Ice Gloves by killing the Ice Queen, which was really easy by the way, and then I went to Antrana to get my Fire Feather. Beautiful RuneScape logic by the way, I need Ice Gloves to kill a Firebird and I end up kicking it to death. I'm very happy to have the Heroes quest completed now because it gives me access to the Heroes Guild and the famous Dragon Battle Axe. Now this is going to be all for this episode. I started with a total level of 1065 and now we're on 1196, close to 1200 total. Once again I made great progress and the quest cape is getting closer and closer. If you enjoyed this video then feel free to leave a like, that would be much appreciated. It helps out my channel and it keeps me motivated to go on. In the next episode I will invest some extra time in my skills to prepare for the hard quests, but for that you'll have to wait until next week.